as Youth Parliament by Class 9 students. Thank you.
Honorable members of the House, Madam Speaker is arriving.
My dear honorable members, I cordially welcome you all to the winter session of the Youth Parliament. Hope the session will be a very fruitful one as we sit out deliberate the important matter concerning our nation. Today's first business is oath taking. Member to take the oath or affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Pura, who stands elected from the constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath or affirmation. Mr. Pura, please. Sir, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath,
In which language do you want to take the oath?
please. In Hindi, please. मैं पूरब युवा संसद के निचले सदन सदस्य से चुने जाने के बाद ईश्वर के नाम पर शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं कानून द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान और प्रति सच्ची आस्था और निष्ठा रखूंगा कि मैं भारत की संप्रभुता और अखंडता को बनाए रखूंगा और मैं जिस कर्तव्य में मैं प्रवेश करने वाला हूँ उसका मैं ईमानदारी से निर्वाह करूंगा। जय हिंद।
Who stands elected from the Tirupati constituency of Andhra Pradesh, will now take the oath of affirmation. Srimati Tarika, please. Ma'am, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
I would like to take oath.
In which language do you want to take the oath?
Telugu, please. తారిక అనే నేను యువ పార్లమెంట్ దిగువ సభ సభ్యురాలిగా ఎన్నికైనందున చట్టం ద్వారా స్థాపించబడిన భారత రాజ్యాంగంపై నిజమైన విశ్వాసం మరియు విధేయతను కలిగి ఉంటానని దేవుని పేరు మీద ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను. నేను భారతదేశం యొక్క సార్వభౌమత్వాన్ని మరియు సమగ్రతను సమర్థిస్తాను మరియు నేను ప్రవేశించబోయే బాధ్యతలను నిజాయితీగా నిర్వర్తిస్తాను.
Who stands elected from the Tirunanthapuram constituency of Kerala, will now take the oath of affirmation. Srimati Hemistry, please. Ma'am, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
I would like to take the oath.
In which language do you want to take the oath?
English, please. I, Hemastri, having been elected a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Jahnavi Priya, who stands elected from the Kanchipuram constituency of Tamil Nadu, will now take the oath of affirmation. Srimati Jahnavi Priya, please. Ma'am, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
I would like to take the oath.
In which language do you want to take the oath?
Tamil, please. நான் ஜாஹ்னவி பிரியா இளைஞர் பாராளுமன்றத்தின் கீழ் சபை உறுப்பினராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டேன். இறையாண்மையையும் ஒருமைப்பாட்டையும் நிலைநாட்டுவேன் என்று சட்டப்படி இந்திய அரசியலமைப்பின் சட்டத்தின் மீது உண்மையான நம்பிக்கையும் விசுவாசத்தையும் காட்டுவேன் என்று கடவுளின் பெயரால சத்தியம் செய்கிறேன். இந்தியாவின் மற்றும் நான் நுழையவிருக்கும் கடமையை உண்மையாக நிறைவேற்றுவேன். Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my sad duty to inform the House of the demise of our former colleague, Shri Hemananda. He was an agriculturist and an active social worker. He worked in the rural areas, devoting his time and energy to the welfare of agricultural laborers and the uplift of backward classes. He was the president of Charkot constituency at Maharashtra. He passed away at 22nd December 2022 at the age of 35. The House may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. Please take your seats. I request the Prime Minister to convey the condolences.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I rise to pay my tribute to Hemananda, whose death has been deeply marred by war. He was a young man who came from a family of freedom fighters and had a name for himself, and his tradition was carried by all the family. He was with us to the very last moment. He seems to be well and happy. Therefore, the shock of passing away was all the greater. He had a bright future before him. I should like to extend my deep condolences to the family. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Now, I request the opposition leader to convey the condolences.
Ma'am, I associate myself with the tributes paid by you and the Bvrsss House. I had the privilege to work with Hemananda as a colleague. He was a person because of his lovable nature and never annoyed with anyone. And we lost a very open-hearted person. We have lost a very good social worker, political worker, and a public man. I would like to associate myself and my party in sending our condolences to Bvrsss family.
I request the Prime Minister to introduce the new members.
Madam Speaker, I have pleasure in introducing to you, to the House and my colleagues, the new members. Sri Purna, Member of the Parliament for Chittoor constituency. Sri Sai Ganesh, Member of the Parliament for Lucknow constituency. Sri Preetam, Member of the Parliament for Mathura constituency. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question hour begins. Shri Abhilash, your question please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like the Honorable Minister for Education to list out the various schemes and policies which have been introduced this year after COVID-19.
Honorable please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sure. Education is our topmost priority in our agenda.
We have introduced schemes such as Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, which is God. We have established 1,572 institutions which provide good education for schools and colleges.
Yes, Madam Speaker. The programs and developments which have been made in the rural areas as well.
Yes, we have also established 700 institutions in rural areas which provide good education for the students. In remote areas, we have also introduced transport facilities for students as well as teachers.
May I know how you manage the bridge gap of academics among the students in the pandemic?
We have distributed digital aids for the people and for like tablets and laptops for college students during the pandemic.
Shri Durga Prasad, your question please.
Yes, Madam Speaker. What are the challenges in delivering the healthcare to the everyone, which must include the socially disadvantaged and economic challenges and the water and the systematic market?
Health please. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Indian healthcare scene represents a spectrum of contrasting landscapes. At one end of the spectrum are the glitzy steel and glass structures delivering high-tech Medicaid to the well-heeled, mostly urban Indians. At the other end are the ramshackle outposts in the remote areas of other India, trying desperately to live up to their identity as health sub-centers, waiting to be transformed to shrines of health and wellness.
Expenses of the country. But in the past 2 years, due to COVID-19, both the health condition of the people came down both physically and mentally. So may I know the health conditions of the health minister in India?
Healthy people, healthy family and fitness as a way of life. The COVID-19 crisis has heightened the risk factors generally associated with poor mental health, financial insecurity and employment, while protective factors like social connection, employment and educational engagement and access to health services were implemented by us. A 3-tier arrangement of health facilities was created for appropriate management of COVID cases. Number 1, COVID care centers with isolation beds for mild cases. Number 2, oxygen supported isolation beds for moderate cases and dedicated COVID hospital with ICU beds for severe cases were implemented by us.
Why do ambulance service across India only receive partial funding from the government?
Ambulance services are vital in providing pre-hospital treatment and care to help to regain life. Administering emergency services in minimal time is a challenge in the country. 68% of the ambulances were found to have met the standards. Ambulance quality was found to be independent of the knowledge of EMTs after adjusting for the effects of years of experience. There were ambulances identified specially for transporting COVID suspect patients or those who have developed complications to the health facilities. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Shri Gautam, your question please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to quote Meri Desh Ki Takki Sona Ugle. This is a profoundly known song. Either I would say it's shaggy dog story made on our roads, infrastructure, social development. We would at least one time encounter this situation where the policeman diverted the vehicles due to the reason laying down telephone cables, sometimes water pipe, sometimes internet cables. But one thing is in common, the roads are under construction. This is a consecutive answer from the executives when asked.
Honorable Minister of Social Welfare, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I will take this privilege to answer the opposition minister, as he have quoted that there are some casualties or some disturbance in the roads while he is traveling or while we are traveling. I would feel this as an immense joy, or it's an immense pleasure for the people of India that we are launching Gati Shakti Yojana, which has been already announced 2-3 months ago, and we are getting it into implementation, where all the ministries, in the sense like agriculture, communication, food civil supplies, everything are working under a certain parameters where we ensure to build the roads at the same time. That means there will be not even a single construction after the road is built. And I would like to add another point. The cherry on the cake is that we have constructed Asia's biggest roads, and also we have constructed animal overpasses, which is not being introduced in Asia. Not even a single place in Asia. And we are trying to move our potential to meet the world standards. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
It's been a lengthier answer, but yeah.
Shri Pranav.
Madam Speaker, from FY14 September, the Make in India program is going on. In order to develop our own country by keeping manufacturing hubs to develop our own products. And you also launched Atmanirbhar Bharat to our Honorable PMC, and you showcased the prototype digital twins of INS Vikrant, taxpayers and cottage industry. So forth, we have not seen any updates on it. Thank you. Yeah. Madam Speaker, here I would like to mention a point that he used the word prototype. Prototype in the sense that's not been issued in the public zone. So we will be getting it into action in 1 or 2 months. The project here we used is Atmanirbhar Bharat. That means self-dependent India, where each and every nut is being made in India, not even a single bolt or nut is being imported or nothing else from any other country. So we require a lot of time to build so. So this we call as Amrut Kaal of India. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the PM Kisan Yojana is launched by the government in the year 2019, and it's been 3 years, and I couldn't see any sort of change in the lifestyle of farmers or their way of farming, and few of them did not get benefited by this.
Madam Speaker, here I would like to mention the year of misery, where we are all being affected. The majority of our friends and family, or every farmer who is below poverty, or anyone else who is below poverty, was the main victim of that COVID. In that year, we have distributed about 11.29 crore farmers, and it's almost like 1.29 lakh crores, which is like almost a tremendous amount. None of the government of any country has done this. So I would feel this. Every farmer is being benefited by this, and as our agriculture minister will also be introducing some points about that. So, and I would like to even mention that in this year, 2023, February 1st, we have launched almost like 1.89 lakh crores, which is almost 58 times more than the last year's budget for the allocation of agriculture. But I would say this, in COVID we did so. So it's not like we are not doing. If you need any proof, we'll go to the stats.
Prefer it to be seen in action rather than in a paper.
Mr. Good answer, sir. Thank you.
Parasan, your question please.
Madam Speaker, I would like to know whether the government is updated to the recent introduction of high technology weaponry, and we would like to know the state of us comparing to our country.
Honorable Minister, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you, I would like to say the opposition minister that we have launched. We are aware of induction of high technology weaponry with our contenders. As Social Welfare Minister has said about Atmanirbhar Bharat and Made in India program, we have launched many, we are developing our defense system by building ballistic missiles, helicopters, submarines, etc. Some of these are INS Vikrant, Arjun,
Pinaka MRBL and etc., which are purely made in India, and we have introduced even Agnipath scheme for the welfare of the soldiers. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, on the above answer of the Defence Minister, I would like to ask the Defence Minister to explain about the Agnipath scheme in detail to the House and show the necessary details.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Agnipath is a pan-India short-term service, youth recruitment for armed forces. Recruit known as Agniveer will serve India for various terrains like land, air, water, sea, etc. Agniveer, for the minimum age of applying this Yojana is 17.5 years and 21 years. The minimum qualification is 8th pass and 12th pass. The Agniveer's first salary per 30,000 per annual, and after 4 years they will get a lump sum amount of 11 lakhs, which is from Sevanidhi scheme. Benefits of this are opportunity to youth fulfill their dream of joining armed forces and serving the nation, to imbibe the military discipline in them and skill and physical fitness. Resume will so unique that Agni will stand out proud. And advantages of this scheme are lower age limit of the soldiers, pension load will be reduced as 1.2 lakh crore is paid on pensions. By saving the money from pensions, we can develop our military system. Thank you.
Speaker, whether the government proposes to purchase S-400 missiles defense system from Russia, and if so, the details thereof including the cost of a defense system and time by which the air defense system from Russia will be received.
Has been signed on 5th October of delivering of S-400 missiles. Russia will be deliveries will commence from October 2020 and will be completed by April 2023. Thank you.
Srimati Hasini, your question please.
The major reasons for the farmer suicide in India are high cost of seeds, fertilizers and pesticides, failure of crop due to inadequate irrigation, bankruptcy due to intensiveness from high cost and the subsequent failure of the crop. Will the Minister of Agriculture be pleased to state what steps have been taken by the government to resolve these issues for small and marginal farmers?
Honorable.
Thank you, ma'am. Farmer suicide is a great problem in our country. An effective and permanent solution for this issue, which prompts the farmers to commit suicide, the government has planned 4 key steps to address this issue. 1. Create an alternative seeds research program that is backed by the government at reasonable price. 2. Robust and reliable irrigation policy plus electrification of villages so that water can flow through small stock ponds. 3. Insurance against crop failure that is backed by the government at reasonable price. 4. Easy access to funds via bank accounts for the farmers to vet them away from local money lenders. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, with the failure of monsoon in the last 2 years, the agricultural sector has set back the Ministry for Agriculture. Be pleased to state as to what is the growth rate in agricultural sector in 2021 and 22. What steps have been taken to improve agricultural sector?
Agriculture and the allied sector proved to be the most resilient to the COVID-19 shock as it registered a growth of 3.6% in FY20 to 21 and improved to 3.9% in FY21 to 22, driving the overall Indian economy's real GDP expansion of 9.2% in FY21 to 22, according to the Economic Survey FY21 to 22. With the able guidance and leadership of the Prime Minister proactive officers of the Ministry and agricultural scientists, active cooperation of the state government and hard work of farmers, we have not only faced different challenges of agricultural sector, but have also gone over them and brought positive and revolutionary changes. The government has succeeded in creating
awareness among the farmers about initiatives taken for the development of agriculture sector. In 3 years, countries and robust effort have been made to bring qualitative changes in lives of farmers and rural areas. The steps taken are financial reforms, regulation of higher rates, provision of credit to rural farmers, subsidies, Food Security Act 2030, public distribution system, minimum supplement and procurement, and pricing system.
Will the minister be pleased to state what is the impact of GST on agriculture sector?
The impact of GST on agriculture sector is foreseen to be positive. The agriculture sector is the largest contributing sector of the overall Indian GDP. It covers around 16% of Indian GDP. The implementation of GST would have an impact on many sections of the society. One of the major issues faced by the agriculture sector is the transportation of agricultural products across the state lines all over India. It is highly probable that GST shall resolve the issue of transportation. GST may provide India with a lot of clarifications which need to be provided for rates for agricultural products. Special reduced rates are declared for items like tea, coffee, milk under the GST. Harvesting, drying, cleansing, trimming, sun-drying, fumigating, curing, sorting, grading, cooling or bulk packaging are not taxable under GST. Thank you, ma'am.
Your question, please.
Will the Minister of Tourism be pleased to state the foreign exchange earnings from the tourists during the last 3 years, year-wise, and the names of the 5 countries on the top from the point of view of tourist arrivals in India?
Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The estimated foreign exchange earnings from the tourism from the last 3 years were as follows. In FY 19, $30.6 billion US, 2,42,000 crores. FY 20, $6.96 billion, 56,000 crores. In FY 2021, $8.797 billion US, 1,000 crores. The 5 countries on the top in the term of tourist arrivals in India during FY 22 FY 2021.
Bangladesh,
United States of America, United Kingdom,
Canada,
and Russia.
What is the number of tourist arrivals from different countries with foreign exchange earned? And which is the country from where they earn the highest foreign exchange in the matter of tourist arrivals?
Foreign exchanges earning from tourism industry across India amount to nearly $7 billion US. This was drop of nearly 77% compared to the previous year. The impact of coronavirus and procedural lockdown in FY 19, tourism was the third largest foreign exchange earner for the country, over $17.9 billion US arrived in India in FY 19 compared to the $17.4 million in 18. The 22nd most visited national in the world and the 8th in Asia and Pacific.
Srimati Rasagna, your question, please.
Will the Minister of Food and Civil Supply to be pleased to state the latest position of food grain reserve in our country?
Thank you, madam.
Our food waste as of FY 21 to 22 is 315.7 million tons. It is higher than the previous year. The stocks, however, are adequate to meet the requirement of people in the food distribution sector. There is also regular replenishment of stocks through procurement operations. Furthermore, there is an option in which we can import stocks of food grains from other countries through this option.
Food rates have declined from 23 million tons to 15 million tons during the month of July 21. If so, what are the stocks to fulfill this deficit of food grains? Is They target fixed for rice and wheat during the rabi season.
As far as the availability of food is concerned, the buffer stock policy says that we should only have 21.1 million tons. In that, against that we have 14.44 million tons. The shortfall is only 6 million tons. So I hope that it will be covered in our ongoing Kharif season and the Rabi season. And as far as the storage capacity is concerned, we are building new storage capacities where the buffer stock can be stored. In this, we can go and take a buffer stock whenever it is required.
I want to know whether because of the shortage of stock in food grains has the government supplied rice and wheat, which is not good for human consumption. Such stores have been received from certain states and complaints were made to the government. Has it been noticed by the government that such an incident has taken place and what steps were taken in this matter?
Apply this information. I will look into it and deliver the information about it to the house tomorrow. Thank you.
Kushal, your question please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Are there any assessments on cost economics of renewable and non-renewable energy sources? If so, the details including findings thereof, and if not, the reasons therefore.
Honorable Minister of Energy please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Of Rs 1.98 per kilowatt hour for solar power and Rs 2.43 for wind power, which are quite favorable as compared from low tariff electricity produced from non-renewable energy sources.
The Minister of Energy that the decides on which the government decides the share of renewable and non-renewable in country's total population energy.
At achieving a 500 gigawatt of installed electricity by end of 2030.
Incentive instruments are used for energy saving in connection with the current energy crisis recently in India to make renewable energy sources more effective.
Instruments used for energy saving are smart bulbs, internet connected appliances, LED lights, smart thermostats, energy efficient insulation, smart plugs and power strips, cool roofs, smart motion sensors, high efficiency heat pumps, HVAC units.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Where a large number of complaints have been received by T&D department regarding the misuse of IFE facility by unknown persons. The complaints of this nature have been received, and investigation showed that there was no spurt in meter readings and there was no unauthorized connections were detected. But in few cases there were some unauthorized connections, and in investigation it was found that the action initiated against persons were involved in malpractice. So the government proposes the following steps in this regard. The setting up of vigilance squads to make a surprise checks and detecting any misuse, and to import charge analyzers to detect such cases much easier.
Some unauthorized connections were detected. Can I know from Minister of Communication what specific ways are taken by the government to solve them?
Speaker, the specific steps have been broadly stated. We got up a vigilance squad which was in it, and I can't give an exact number of complaints that have been registered. And we are gathering information about those complaints. And for example, I can say Delhi during the last year.
It was not enough for the minister to collect information. Is this how the house is to be treated, ma'am?
To collect the information about that. And I have only incidentally said that Delhi during the last year, and there are 50 such complaints. All the complaints were investigated, and it was detected that from the 3 companies, and there was a misconnection. And all the employees were identified in all of these cases. Thank you, Speaker.
Ma'am, and also it has been stated that the charge analyzers which are getting imported have to be gone through. We have come to the final stage. I cannot assure about the time, but we are at the final stage.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, a serious breach of privilege has been committed by the leading newspaper of Delhi.
By commenting on the recommendations of the Public Account Committee. The paper has attributed dishonest motives, and I have requested you to allow me to raise a question on that matter now.
Have you given notice of it earlier? You may give due notice along with a copy of video clip, and I shall consider it. You can't spring a surprise on me like this.
Ma'am, I have already given notice of it at 10 a.m. today.
It will be examined when it comes to me. I shall consider it and let you know my decision. Now, papers to be laid. Honorable Minister of Health, Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on the table a copy of each of the following notifications under subsection of the Health and Welfare Act 2022. Number 1. The National Commission for Allied and Healthcare Professions Bill introduced on 15 September 2021 and passed on March 2022. Number 2. Notification of the Mental Healthcare Rules and Rights of Persons with Mental Health and Illness 2022. Thank you, ma'am. Of the Youth Parliament.
Ma'am, I have to report the following message received from the Secretary of the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament. In accordance with the provisions of Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament, I am directed to enclose a copy of Legal Migration Bill 2022 such as Pravesh Bharatiya Bima Yojana and the Indian Community Welfare Fund, which has been received from the Upper Chamber in its sittings on 21st July 2022 Thursday.
Secretary to lay on the table a copy of bill as passed by the Upper Chamber.
Ma'am, I lay on the table of the House the Legal Migration Bill 2022 passed by Union External Affairs Ministry.
Honorable members, I have to make an announcement. On the behalf of the House, I have a great pleasure in extending a warm welcome to Speaker of the Australian Federal Parliament, Mr. Milton Dick, and the members of the Australian Federal Parliament who are on a visit to India as their honoured guests. The other members of the delegation are Ron Edwards, Harry Jenkins, Gary Nehel, and I am Pazlu. It is a very high-power delegation. The delegation arrived on Tuesday 10, 2022. They are now seated in a special box. We wish them a very happy stay in our country and also convey our warm greetings to the Majesty Queen of Australia, the Prime Minister and the Government. Now, let us take up the calling attention motions. Minister of Food and Civil Supplies, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Under the PM Mantri, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the scheme, the department has so far allotted a total of about 759 lakh million tons of food waste to the states and union territories for the distribution to around 18 crore National Food Security Act beneficiaries free of cost, which is equivalent to about 2.6 lakh crores in food subsidy. Government of India has sufficient food trade stocks under central pool to meet the requirement of national food security and other welfare schemes. Government of India has ensured sufficient food stock of food waste are available in the central pool.
Minister of Agriculture, please.
2022 report, world is moving further away from its goal of ending hunger, food insecurity and malnutrition in its forms by 2030. 2022 saw a rapid 2022 saw a rapid increase in food prices and shortages of food supply around the world. The compounding crisis in different parts of the world were caused by economic crisis. As of February 2022, food prices were up 20% according to the Food and Agriculture Organization. At the same time, significant floods and heat waves in 2022 destroyed the key crops. Honorable Minister of Energy to introduce the legislative bill.
For you to introduce the Electricity Amendment Bill and the Energy Conservation Amendment Bill of 2022 in this session.
And the Energy Conservation Act 2022 and the Act promotes energy efficiency and conservation. Those who are in favor will please say A. Those who are against will please say no. I think the A's have it. The A's have it. Leave is granted.
Ma'am, I introduce the bill.
Has the honorable member leave of the House to withdraw his resolution? The resolution by leave of the House is withdrawn. Now the House is adjourned to meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Our children wonderful question. Let's understand the difference between a parliament and assembly from our floor and another field of 6, 7, 8. Okay, and even in parliament also Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, all these things we also expect, right? Okay, thank you.
Now, I thank all the teachers who took trouble to conduct this. Thank you, teachers. Now, after the break, I want all the absentees for the photos to assemble near the office. Not office, near secondary classroom. I won't call again and again. Understand? All the absentees should come near the secondary.